There's one tax strategy that most NP practice owners completely overlook, and it could be costing you thousands of dollars every year. I've helped NP practice owners legally save thousands of dollars on their taxes. And one thing I see over and over again is that many owners are paying the IRS far more than they need to. The surprising part is usually not because they're doing something wrong. It's because no one showed them a few key tax-saving opportunities that can make a huge difference. Today, I'm going to break down the biggest reasons NP practice owners overpay their IRS and show you what to look for so you can keep more of what you earn. Let's dive in. You're a nurse practitioner entrepreneur and you feel like you're paying too much in taxes to the IRS every year. I understand. I've been helping NPs for 6 years with their bookkeeping and tax strategies. Here are a few common mistakes. Waiting into tax season to think about taxes. You think tax season starts in January, right? No. Tax season is something you should be proactive about and thinking about throughout the year, not just during tax season. Once the year's over, you can't do anything about the past year. So if you're filing taxes for 2025 and 2026 this year, 25 is done. You can't make any change. You can't apply any tax strategies past the deadline of April 15th. So now you have to start planning this year for 2027. We're going to have get 2026 by being proactive and thinking about tax season before tax season. And maybe your entity structure isn't the appropriate one for you in your situation. Maybe you're a single LLC and you could possibly become an S corporation, or maybe you are a partnership and you shouldn't be a partnership. Maybe you should be an S corp, or maybe you should just be a single member LLC, or maybe just a sole proprietorship. It just depends on your situation. Maybe that's hurting you in your tax situation as well. Another thing that's hurting you possibly is treating tax preparation as tax planning. Again, I said it before, once the year's over, you can't make any changes to your financials because the year's done. It's best to meet with your tax preparer and get advice through the year. It makes it easier to make changes during the year, and you can strategize and implement things so that you won't be left with a big tax bill at the beginning of the next year. And you also may be lacking a proactive strategy. Again, it's all about being proactive. I mentioned it before. Maybe you're being reactive and waiting until the tax year's over, and then you're wondering what you can do to reduce your tax bill. The second thing that could be hurting you is missed deductions. All right, you may be trying to do your own bookkeeping, or you're not doing it at all, and you're like, how am I paying too much in tax? This is, I believe, one of the biggest issues I see in businesses where an NP starts a business, she may be making money, she doesn't want to pay a bookkeeper or CPA to do her bookkeeping. She wants to do it all herself, have all the control. That's fine, but if you want to really make an impact in your community with your business, when you can afford to hire someone to do bookkeeping for you, some things you could be missing are in terms of deductions, continuing education. If you're getting CPE, or I get CPE, continuing education, professional education, you may get it too. It may be medical education, ME, but you can deduct that as well. You're missing that. Another one you can be missing is your memberships and your licensing. If you have a license, you have to renew annually, or you have state licenses you have to renew because you are licensed in multiple states. Are you deducting that? Maybe you're not. This is a biggie. Your mileage and your travel. You may be going to visit clients, you may have a concierge business or a mobile business, and you're not tracking your mileage because it can have a huge impact by reducing your taxes. Maybe you have some technology or software you'll be using as you're using your business to help be more efficient. And another key thing that you may be missing out on is home office. You can get home office deductions if you have a home office specifically used only for business. Now, you can't use that office for personal and business because it basically negates you trying to use the home office deduction. So make sure you get with your tax prepared and give him or her the right information so you can get this deduction. And the third thing that you're missing is hurting you when it comes to you paying IRS and taxes is year-round tax planning. And I even go, say year-round, I would say quarterly tax planning, because quarterly estimates is one thing I believe you need to do, because if you're not doing quarterly estimates, you're leaving opportunity on the table to pay less in taxes. Because if you're looking at your business expenses and income quarterly, you will see if you're making too much money and not having enough deduction to offset the income, and you're paying more in taxes. But if you do that quarterly, you'll see, I have these deductions, but am I maximizing them? Or am I leaving money on the table? I mentioned in the last part, number 2, you may be missing deductions. So meeting someone quarterly to review your financial statements so you can understand where you are can help you be proactive in doing quarterly estimates and not owing a big tax bill when you're at the year end. Also, you can do tax projections. You can see, all right, where are we mid-year? It's June of this year, 2026 already. You can say, all right, we're going to meet quarterly to see where we are mid-year compared to last year. Is my situation the same or similar, or is it I had to change? Am I making more income than last year or less? If you look at that, you can make projections based on prior year and say, all right, I'm going to make more income, so let me pivot and make sure I'm having enough withheld for my wages if you are an employee of your business. Or if you aren't and you do quarterly estimates, you can say, all right, I'm going to make sure I'm holding enough tax during the year based on my income now. That could be a huge game changer for you. Also, making strategic purchases. I recommend if you make a purchase for a particular asset which adds benefits to your business, value to your business, is to purchase assets that are $2,500 or more, because that way you can depreciate, which is an expense, that asset over time. Maybe you want to buy some equipment for your office, machinery, maybe you can buy a business vehicle or a building. Make sure you talk to your bookkeeper, CPA, or your tax professional. Make sure you get the best bang for your buck when it comes to buying assets strategically. If you are an employee of your business, say you have an S Corp or C Corporation, make sure you're getting retirement planning. Maybe set up a 401k or solo 401k if you aren't an S Corporation. You want to do a solo 401k if it's just you and your business, or maybe even do a SEP, which is basically a simplified employee pension plan for small businesses. Make sure you maximize your retirement planning, that you can use that income from the business to really maximize your retirement. And I believe that if you make a lot of money in your business and you maximize your retirement, the result will be a wealthy lifestyle when you sell your business or when you do want to retire. And the last part I believe that you can do when it comes to tax planning is to be, again, proactive and not reactive. Meet with your professional during the year so that you can look at your financial statements, see where your income is and your expenses, make the right choices when it comes to taxes, pay them through the year, quarterly, do a mid-year review as well to see where you are compared to last year. And let's make sure we're maximizing our deductions so we don't overpay the IRS because you aren't planning. If you found this episode helpful, hit the like button so I can know to make more content like this. Then leave your biggest question when it comes to taxes in the comments below. I'm reading every comment, and your question may become an episode. If you want to continue to receive value, I'll see you in the next video.